Hi, my name is Jim, and I'm here to tell you I don't watch professional baseball. I'm a Chicago Cub fan. It's not easy being a Cub fan. My father was a Cub fan. My brothers are Cub fans. Many doctors believe that it is a genetic disorder. Based on the fact, I lean that way too. The Cubs have not won a World Series since 1908. Many people firmly believe that it's the only team in professional sports that would lose fans if they started winning. The Cubs got an interesting history, and my dad would pass that on to me. The famous double play combination of Mixes to Smallies to Addison Avenue, and of course, problems in center field. My dad told me one story that the Cubs always had problems in center field, but this Texan with a big Stetson hat got off the train. His name was Gale Wade, and proudly announced Chicago center fielding problems were over. My dad was in Wrigley Field watching as there was a routine fly ball hit into center. Gale Wade got under it, and the ball bounced off his head into the ivy. Their center fielding problems only just begun. But finally, there was a young kid in center fielder. My father said they finally got a center fielder. So naturally, the Cubs did what they did best. They traded the kid to St. Louis for two sore-arm pitchers that didn't last 2 seasons between the two of them. Okay, the kid was a flash in the pan. He only played 23 seasons for the Cardinals. And if you want to read about him, you go to the Hall of Fame. His name's Lou Brock. And many people, and I'm one of them, blame the goat curse. It's a tavern in Chicago called Billy Goat's Tavern. And Billy Goat used to bring his goat to the Cub games. Well, the Cubs made the postseason, and the Wrigley said they didn't want the goat in the tavern, in the stadium, sorry. Billy Goat said, I've been bringing him all year. Wrigley said no. So Billy Goat put a curse on the Cubs. And what I can say to you, dear friends, if you ever piss anyone off and you see them wandering the streets with a goat, you better hide, because those curses stick. We sit there and I look at the Cubs. 84 against the Padres. I still break down and cry when I hear the word Steve Garvey mentioned. And of course, there's the infamous Steve Bartman. Mr. Bartman did what any fan, including myself, and you too, admittedly, would do. He reached for a souvenir fly ball. Somehow he got the blame for the Cubs' loss. I kind of like to put it on the pitching that decided it was time to turn it into batting practice. And, of course, the Cubs outfield and infield, better known as the hole in the glove game. Yes, the Cubs could always snatch defeat right out of the jaws of victory. I remember this year I was on my way to work. The Cubs were beating the Brewers 2-0 in the fourth. And my first thought was, how are they going to blow it? When I checked the score after work, the Brewers won 4-2. Sure, I lived with the agony of defeat, depression, anxiety, frustration, and herpes. But I digress. Yes, the Cubs are the only team in professional sports that would probably lose fans if they started winning. But, as my father always said to me, and he put his hand on my shoulder, said, son, it could be worse. You could be a White Sox fan. let's play